So this is the background of discrimination in Japan. As you see, the distinction is not on what color of skin you have, but whether you are outsider or you are insider. The criteria is inside or outside, not so much as which country you are from, what race you are. There was a very famous lawsuit in Hokkaido where the public bath was accused of being discriminatory towards foreigners because they put on the sign that no foreigners here. What happened was Russian sailors there came into the bath very drunk and very violent and didn't follow the rules of Japanese bath. There are particular specific rules about how to bathe in Japanese public bath. So what happened was, of course, the bath owner was discriminating foreigners by putting out the sign "No foreigners," but the motivation behind it is not so much racial as inside-outside. If the Russians followed the rules and if they knew inside rules, inside invisible laws about bathing in Japan, they would have never been banned, actually. Well, that is discrimination, but not so much on race. And there are other nightclubs who bans foreigners, actually. And the reason is that they are scared of actually white or black foreigners who is big and muscular, and if they get drunk and if they start be violent, well, nobody can stop them. And that's the fear of them, not so much because they are foreigners as they might be behaving differently so that they cannot really deal with them. So I'm going to give you some examples of how even the Japanese people are discriminated by the Japanese people. For example, recently, because of the economy, lots of Japanese corporates are merged by another Japanese corporate. And what happened is that they don't really mix together after two companies merge together. Because, okay, you are from B company, we are from A company. You know, we are from different community, so they don't really get mingled. My father used to work for a very huge corporate oil giant in Japan, but his company was merged. His company was actually bought by another bigger corporate giant, and actually he quit because there was not really good position left for him. And this kind of phenomenon is very common in Japan. For another example is in a newly developed town where there are old residents and new residents come to the town, and there is a kind of divide between old residents and new residents, because new residents don't know the rules of the local, and the new residents don't really follow or respect the old residents, and the old residents think that the new residents are foreigners. Yes, foreigners, strangers, outsiders. They break the harmony of the locals. Or if you change your job and start working for another company, and then chances are you will not get ahead because, well, they say, okay, you're great, you have great career, you can do the job very well, but you didn't grow up in this company, so that kind of thing. Another example is that kids who spend some years in the Western countries, and when they come back to Japanese school, they are target of bully. So kids spending some years in, say, America, coming back to Japanese schools, and they get bullied because they stick out. They are more American than the Japanese, and that makes them outsider, and they don't really know invisible laws that Japanese kids are following. Another example is ageism. Yes, this is very big in Japan. Japanese society consists of seniority system, the hierarchy based on age. So we have to change the language of Japanese when we speak to older people, and we change our language when we speak to the same age friends or people. We change our language when we speak to younger people. Ageism affects significantly. If you want to apply for a job, or if you want to change your career, and if you're over 25 or 30, then you have less opportunities. And the weirdest custom is that you have to be a new graduate to get into a big corporate giant in Japan. You name it, any company in Japan which is very famous and big, they don't hire you if you are not new graduate. And ageism also affects our private life. I have lots of Canadian friends who are younger, much younger than I. Some are 6 years younger, some are 8 years younger, or even 10 years younger. But I'm very good friends with them. But that doesn't happen in Japan. If the person is 6 years younger, chances are we don't become friends. So now let's move on to discrimination towards foreign people in Japan, which has been a very hot topic. Now, foreign people in Japan face double boundaries, because not only are they outside of local communities, but also they are outsiders of Japan as a whole, because they are from foreign countries. So they have to cross two boundaries. One is between Japan and the foreign countries, and another is inside of the group and outside of the group. I said earlier that the discrimination towards foreigners here is not so much on racial difference than inside and outside. Being foreigner and having different color or having different facial features, unfortunately it is a sign, a very strong sign of being outsiders. So the native Japanese react to how they look, how foreigner looks, and judging, okay, they are from outside. Probably they don't know the rules. They don't behave the way we behave. They don't think the way we think. They're different. They're outside. So they put a thick wall